those of you here, how many of you actually use LinkedIn? Quite a fair number, probably 80, 90%, I would say. Do you use it properly? Do you use it regularly? Do you use it effectively? How many actually use it effectively? That's 1, 2, 3. That's not many, is it? So, not many at all. That's good. I'm pleased about that, because if you're all effective, I would have sat down, you know. So, now, that gives me an opportunity to show you the 5 sort of tips that I've used, the 5 things that I've used in the last year, or probably 2 years now, actually, of LinkedIn. And I sort of got the social media bug thanks to one of my partners, Jeremy Boyden. And Jeremy's here tonight, and he said, "Oh, you ought to have a look at this LinkedIn thing." And I kept getting invites to link up with people from people I didn't really like very much, people that I sort of wanted to forget about, and I kept delete. Oh, you know. Don't worry, none of those people are here tonight, I can assure you. And I made some comment about it being some sort of dating site or whatever to Jeremy, and then over the Christmas period, 2011 I think it was, I had a look at it and I thought, hang on, this is really good. I quite like this, you know? And then I started playing around with it and that. And then this NetLinked group came up. They meet every other Wednesday morning in Chelmsford at a little cafe, and there's about 6 people, and they just exchange ideas on social media, and they train you up in it. And I went to a few of those, and it's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So first thing I would say to anyone, if you want to get anywhere, you know, if you've got a website, I'm sure everyone here's got websites, even if you work for the large banks, you know, got websites, some very good ones they are. You know, there could be there's millions of websites out there, and you want to get yours in people's faces. You want to get people onto it, and you want to get hits onto it. So one of the first things I always do on LinkedIn every morning is do what I call a status update. It's where you just go to your own website. Okay, so I'll get the CBHC site up, and hopefully I'll get the right one up here. Just quickly stick that on there. And if you, I mean, we get a news feed on our website every day, and we buy that content in. So every day there's a thing, and there's one for the 24th of September today, which is about government consults on SME-friendly public procurement, whatever that means. It sounds quite interesting. Some people might find it interesting. It's about making it easier for SMEs to sell their services to public bodies rather than other private companies. That could be useful, education, that sort of stuff. So let's just open that bit of news there on our website. Okay. So I've opened that page there, and there's a bit of detail there on it. And now if I want to share that with all the people I'm connected with on LinkedIn, I'll just go to the top of that page, the address, the URL, I think as they call it. Don't know what URL stands for, but actually Darren will probably know that. He's IT specialist. So I'll copy that. So I've just right-clicked and I'll copy it to my status box on LinkedIn, which is this box here, where it always says share an update. So first thing in the morning, switch your laptop on, put the kettle on, whatever, and look at something in your website that might be news, it might be products, it might be meet the directors, it might be anything. It could just be anything that you think is interesting. It could be something you want to share with people, preferably on your website, because you want to keep people on the website rather than going to other people's, and paste that. So I've just hit paste there, okay, and as soon as I hit that share button, all the people I'm connected with will see that. They'll see a picture of me, CBHC website, they'll see that paragraph there that's underneath it, and if they click on hit enter, it will take them to my website. So that's taken, that might take what, 10 seconds, 20 seconds or whatever, and it looks like you're doing a lot of stuff on the web. And people say to me, you're always on that LinkedIn. And in fact, I walked in our village pub once and they said, oh, he's a LinkedIn man, here he is. You know, and I was clearing snow away once with a fella up the road to us, and you know, and he said, oh, I suppose we'll read about this on Twitter and put LinkedIn later on, you know. And it seems like you're on there all the time, but you're not. And and I was quite pleased when he said that, because it means that you're keeping the profile up, and it's good for being noticed, because it's no point being LinkedIn to people if they never see you, because you can just have thousands of LinkedIn people. So if I just share that now, what I normally do is put a little message up there. I'll put a comment on it or something that's positive, you know, supportive, and not too political or anything like that. That's gone there. So in theory, all the people I'm connected to, which is something like 1,600 or 400 or whatever, would see that there. And if they want to just click there, it just takes them straight into our website. So, you know, you see that quite a bit, and that's what people are doing. They're not writing loads of new material. They're just doing a quick copy, status update there. And there's things, and you see other people's things up there. You know, often you'll see, you know, there's a lady here, Jan King, and she's an ex-BNI member, and she's a retirement. She coaches people in retirement, and, you know, and advises them. Very good business. And you know, I've seen her on there, so she's obviously doing things about baby boomers and stuff like that, which is what I am. born between certain times. Is it 1954 to 1968, something like that? So little things like that. Keep your high profile. Keep your. What is often worth doing is if you see other people on there that you know and you like what they're saying, just click the like button, because that's then opening what they've said to all your contacts. So it's a very good way. If you have a pact with someone and say, look, I'll like you if you like me, a bit like in the school playgrounds again, isn't it? But it's do that sort of thing. Got to be careful what I say, because a couple of my old schoolmates are here actually. One in particular, he's already likened my shoes to those of Len Goodman off Come Dancing. So very kind of him. So that's a very quick and easy way of doing it. What I will say on here, you'll notice on here, it's very light. You can hardly see it. You see that? There's like a paper clip there. That means you can attach documents. So if you've got a PDF brochure or something like that, you could attach your document there and say, please see our latest product range, blah, 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 blah. Hit enter. It might be a spreadsheet showing interesting calculations, APR calculations, things like that really excite people. Or it could be a bit of legislation, Ben, employment legislation that's come out that, it could be anything like that. So you can share not just links to other parts of your website, but also specific documents and stuff like that. So that's quite useful. Right, other things that are very, very useful. I think a good way, a really good thing to do is to tag the people you're connected to. And that doesn't mean sticking something around their ankles like Jermaine Pennant, the footballer, but tagging them so that you can categorise your database, because if you've got 4,000 people on there or something like that, it's just unmanageable. So you want to tag people into different categories, and clients, prospective clients, old school friends, that sort of stuff. And if you look down the left-hand side here, if I click on my tags, I've got to be very careful what I do here now. I don't have a category for attractive girls or anything like that, I assure you. But there's I've got the sort of.
It's called favourites.
Actually, that fellow there at the top there, he is the speaker at West Ham United, and he got fired last week because he didn't want to take a 40% pay cut. But that's the sort of people you can find on LinkedIn. It's quite handy. But these are different categories. I've got existing clients, colleagues, favourites, former clients, FD potential clients, group members. And you can put people in more than one category. They don't have to be one. They could be 3, 4, 5. And you'll see why that's useful in a second, because once you've tagged people, you can send group emails to groups of people. So, for example, if I wanted to send, let me go to, there's a category down here called Key Persons of Influence. All right? And they're people that know everyone. And Steve's at the top, second from the top. I don't know whether you're not at the top, but there's a guy called Tim Morgan who's above you, and I spoke to him today, funny enough. Yes, and there's a lady there. She is very influential, and I don't even know who that guy is. But Bellway Homes are a pretty big company. But they're the key people. So if I want to send one message to all those KPIs, as you call them, people that are really well linked, and you want to get a new product or a new service out, you want to get it out there in the market, send it to your KPIs. It will get out there. And I'll give you a very good example of what happened when I sent an email out to our KPIs, or what I see as KPIs, about 6 weeks ago. There was a lady who has got a business, and let's just say she lives in the USA now, originally from this part of the world, and has got 2 other subsidiary companies in other parts of the world, one of which is India. She saw that in the other part of the world she now lives. I've got to be very careful in case anyone here knows her. She saw this product that we're launching, outsourced accounting, really liked it, and we've met up. When she comes to the UK 90 days of the year, and we're hoping to sign up as a client. That's a substantial business, substantial client with sort of cloud-based software that we'll be working on for us. So, it does work. It does work. You'd never know who's spotting it, but that's because I tag the database, because you're never going to send an email out to 300 people. In fact, there's a limit on LinkedIn, 50 at a time. You cannot send more than 50. So if you've got 150 people in one category, you just do 3 lots of 49, and then do the rest afterwards. So don't take a minute. So when you do want to send an email to them, I've got my KPIs there, and the box at the top there says select all, and a little tick arises next to each one. If I click on message, a few seconds later, up comes a message box, and there's all the people on there, and I can put the message on, click send, and they'll all get it straight away. So nice, very quick way of getting a message out to certain types of people. And you don't have to send to all of them. Oh look, Ben, you're a KPI. How about that? It's good, isn't it? And I can zap off. Aaron is as well. Both in the same company. That's what's going on there. So I don't have to send it to all those. I can zap off ones that I don't want to send that to. That's a really good way of getting the message out quickly. It's like mail merging. I'm sure you can do mail merging on Outlook and things like that, but it's just, to me, that's quicker because you can get specific messages to specific groups very quickly. Okay, other things that I think have worked really, really well and people have been very, very grateful for. You often have situations where you know two people and you know that one person could do a lot of good business with another person in particular. And in the old days we used to say, oh yeah, well, let's arrange a lunch and we'll get together, and it used to take forever, didn't it? And 6 months later, if you met up, you were lucky. It just didn't happen. Now there's a very quick way of doing it. You can just, and forgive me if you do this already, but it's something I often forget to do. You go to one of your contacts. Oh, there's Vicky there at the top. And let's take Steve. You've gone, Steve. You were there a minute ago. You've gone now. Where's my KPIs? Let's go back to there. Thanks. Right, let's go back to Steve. He's going to come up there. And there's Steve. Let's just select Steve and look at his profile. And I think, blimey. And you know Steve well, you can recommend, you can do all sorts of things there, but what I want to do is send Steve's profile to someone else that I know he will get on very well with. So all you do, rather than send a message, you go down to there and share profile. There's a little thing that says share profile, and it comes up, and it's got standard wording on there. It says I found Steve's profile on LinkedIn, thought you might be interested. You can delete that and put what you like in there. And say I want to send it to, I want to send it to Gary. I've just looked at Gary Clackworthy, so start doing that. And I'll send that. And I'll send me a copy as well, so I get a copy of it so I can follow it up to see if they did actually meet up. And that's gone. So you'll have that in your inbox. You'll have Steve's profile there. You can delete. Look, after this presentation, you'll want to see it. So, a perfect match. So you can do that. And I think it's a nice, quick way of getting people together, because very often people say, "Oh, who's that bloke? You know that fellow. He sells that product." And you think, "Oh," and then you make a note of it, and then just do it on LinkedIn. Just link them together, put a nice little message. What goes around comes around. You link people up together, it comes back. It's the BNI motto. I've got to say that because our chapter director is just sitting there tonight as well. So got that one for Richard Collins. What goes around comes around, or give us gain, I think it is. Finally, one other final thing I would say about LinkedIn that is very effective for us, or for me in particular, is when you have a look and see who's checked you out. It's a bit like, I think, on the Facebook, when you can work out who's checked you out and stuff. But on here, you can see who's been looking at your profile, and that can be quite powerful. So, for example, if I go down to here, if I go to you have to go home first, or profile rather. If I go to my profile, there's an outdated picture of me looking quite young there, so I was a bit up to date that sometime. But down there it says, who's viewed your profile? And it says there, your profile has been viewed by 12 people in the last 7 days. Actually, people are also looking at my daughter down there, so I'll have to find out who that is. But, dirty bugger. Yeah, they're probably thinking, how can I have a crumbly old git as a father like that? Right, so your profile has been viewed by 12 people in the last 7 days, so I'll just click on that. Now, I've subscribed to the sort of premium edition of LinkedIn, so it enables me to see more people. So I can look at more people who's been looking at me. But there's various people. There's a guy called Hugo Hyde, don't know him, but I could email him.
Yeah,
do you want to know him?
Hugo's
here. Is it? Oh, right, yeah, sorry. A nice fellow he looks. There's loads of, and some of the people that you already know, because it's got first next to them, so the people already know you, but some are second. Gary Savage. Oh, he sounds a nice fellow, doesn't he? I might give him a wide berth. I don't know. But you can see who's checked you out. You can, I hope they don't owe me money. You can quickly check out who's had a look at it. You can send them an email and say, is there anything I can help you with? You can ring them up, because they have the contact details on there very often. So it's a very, we've done that before. We've picked up clients before where we've looked at people who've checked us out, rang them up, arranged a meeting and signed them up. It's just as easy as that. So really, you get out of it what you put in. The more you look at it, But there's those areas that if you just did those areas and nothing else, you get results. I'm pretty certain you will do, and that could take you 15 minutes a day, and cost you absolutely nothing, unless you go for the premium edition, which I did, which is something like 150 quid a year or something. And what it gives you the ability to do advanced searches, so you can search huge numbers of people and have their full name there. So, but that's something for another day. But I've got little handouts on LinkedIn and tips and guides and stuff. So feel free to email me, and I'll send them through. There's some great stuff out there, and it's really a useful little tool. I haven't really touched on Twitter, but when I said that thing earlier on, I said about profile update. I've set it so that when I do one of those profile updates, it also goes through to Twitter. So it goes through to Twitter and Facebook as well. I've only got about 30 friends on Facebook, so you know, and so too old for it really, I guess. But you know, but Twitter's very good. I do find Twitter very powerful. But I could talk all day about Twitter. That's very powerful and very useful. But it just feeds it through there. It's amazing. And there's even bits of software you can use, like I think it's called TweetDeck and Hootsuite and stuff like that, that even automates the whole thing for you. And there's someone in this room who uses that on a regular basis, I know for a fact. Not many miles away from me. It's very good, it's very effective.